#1 question that I've been receiving recently across all my social media platforms is always about my veneers. So I'm so excited to finally sit down today and film a video to share with you guys my experience, the process, the cost, and everything in between. This may end up being a bit of a longer video because I did want to make it as detailed and helpful as possible. Of course, I'll be including my before and after pictures, but I've got some little vlog footage as well from the day of my appointment. So hopefully I have all bases covered, but if at the end of the video you do still have any questions, please feel free to drop me a comment down below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. I've been getting a lot of DMs about my teeth on there. I do have a puppy who's currently sleeping just off camera. She's going through a bit of a barking phase, but hopefully I'm going to be able to get through this video and she won't disturb me. So if you've never watched any of my videos before, hi, my name's Hannah. I've been in Dubai now for almost a year and I'm originally from London. So why did I end up getting veneers and how did I end up choosing a clinic here in Dubai? My teeth had been my biggest insecurity for years, and I really mean that, and my family and friends will attest to the fact that I hated my teeth. I was just always really self-conscious. It meant I didn't ever really want to smile in pictures. It was just my biggest insecurity. For a bit of context as well, I'd actually previously already had braces and I had lower jaw surgery. So I've been through the ringer, trust me. This was not a split decision, and I did try some other methods first that were just unsuccessful for me. Unfortunately, I had very bad treatment in the UK for my braces. They didn't care about me. They took them off too early and they never gave me a retainer. So that's a whole story for another day I won't bore you with today. And as I mentioned, I had jaw surgery as well. I also then started looking down the route of Invisalign, but for me there was more that I wanted to correct than just straightening the teeth, so veneers felt like the best option. So I'll share my before photo now and then I'll talk about what my kind of concerns were. So as you can see, I was a gap girl. I had a gap in between my two front teeth. My gap wasn't straight. If it was a gorgeous, you know, get the London look, I would keep it, but my gap was wonky, and so that was a big insecurity of mine. Not just that, I had other gaps in my teeth as well. I had a gap on the side, I had a gap on the other side, and this is probably a bit gross, but I'd always get food stuck in my teeth. So then when we come to the bottom section, my bottom teeth were very crossed. So again, straightening I wanted to correct. My teeth were also quite stained. I've done teeth whitening over the years. They basically just said to me that some people's teeth stain easier than others, and mine unfortunately just stained quite easily. So I found myself being quite insecure about the colour. I also just didn't like the shape and the style of my teeth. I thought they were quite short. And then what led me to the decision to use a clinic here in Dubai? So veneers in the UK are a lot more expensive. I typically would have had to spend potentially double what I paid here in Dubai. All I'd ever really heard people talk about was going to Turkey for their teeth. But unfortunately, while there are some complete success stories, there's also some horror stories and the kind of dark side of going to Turkey, and that's what put me off. I've seen people have their teeth shaved, which throw in right now, my teeth have not been shaved an inch. These are complete no shaving veneers, so my teeth are behind my veneers. So the UK and America always seemed like the more expensive options, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be feasible for me. But then on the other end of the spectrum, Turkey, I was just concerned and I just didn't know if I trusted that process enough. And so if it wasn't going to be Turkey, I honestly wasn't sure where to go. But at this time, I honestly did not know that people came to Dubai to get their veneers. Now I realise it's such a popular thing. Next came the decision of choosing a clinic. Putting your trust in a clinic is quite a daunting feeling because teeth are so important. The last thing you want is to go to a clinic and have a bad experience or come out with an end result that you're not happy with. In the midst of me doing all this research, a friend of mine and my fiance's brother came out to Dubai to get veneers. He had the best experience. They looked fantastic. So immediately we got in contact and he shared everything with me. So I of course reached out to them, and from day one I just had the most reassuring, best feeling with them. They were so helpful with all my questions, so kind. I decided to book in with them because I feel like a recommendation goes so much further. Once you know someone's had a positive experience, it helps you make that decision, I feel. So hopefully I can be a bit of a recommendation to some of you guys as well. I would never give a recommendation that I wasn't 100% behind. The name of the clinic is VIP Clinic Dubai. I can leave them linked down below. Before I go into the process and the cost, let me share some videos from the day of my very first appointment. I'm finally doing it. I'm finally going to get veneers today, and I can't quite believe that today's that day. And I thought I would talk while I get ready to save me some time. So many years of wanting something and so many years of feeling the way I felt about my teeth. I don't even know, I can't even find the word. It is so crazy for me to look back at those videos now and see my teeth, and I feel like because you're really focused on it, you really can see the difference. In the first appointment, it was all about checking that I'm a suitable candidate, which unless you have terrible gum health and some crazy things going on, you're going to be fine. And then they discussed with me colour colour, shape. Obviously we spoke about my main concerns as well, and then they took up impressions of my teeth, sent that off to the lab, and then they were able to start making up my veneers. Process should just take only 2 appointments, which is crazy. That first one is where you discuss everything, they check everything, and they also, if you're ready to go, they'll prep your teeth there and then as well for the veneers, which just includes a bit of polishing and cleaning. And then at the second appointment is when they will put your veneers on, all being well. That's not actually what happened with me. Mine ended up taking 3 appointments, so I will share some more details on that later, but for now let's go to that first appointment. Okay, you guys, I just arrived and Doug's appointment actually finished early, so he's gonna come and meet me. I don't know where I'm going, but I think I'm here. I need to go to the 9th floor. We're on the way. First appointment is done. It was a good first appointment, very easy, very quick. They did some cleaning and some polishing, and actually already a little bit straighter just from that process, because they had to prep them ready for veneers. Everything with me is absolutely fine. There was absolutely nothing that needed to be done. We then spoke about the shade, and I could choose from 4 different shades. So 1 being like bright white, number 2 being like a duller white. I'm leaning towards shade 2. You had a little look as well, didn't you? And you thought number 2 was a good option.
Yeah.
I feel really good after the first appointment.
Just looking forward to the final result, really.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Yeah. So as you had me mention there, I decided to go for shade number 2. The main thing I wanted to achieve with my veneers was them to look as natural as possible. Of course, I wanted to correct all these things, but I still wanted them to look natural. And honestly, the main comment I get from people, which makes me so happy, is, I love your veneers, they look so natural, where did you get them done? That feels like such a good feeling to me. So I actually have shade number 2, and as you can see, it's still very white. You're not gonna go and get veneers and get them yellow. So as you can see, I do still have the teeth here that come down a little bit, and I did ask them to increase the length a bit, so these teeth are all a bit longer than they were previously, same with the bottom one, and I'm really happy with the shape. As I mentioned, thought that my teeth before were quite short and stumpy, so this has really helped brighten my smile and widen my smile. So it should just take 2 appointments, but sometimes it can take 3, which was the case with me. At that second appointment, first of all, they'll do something called prova, which is when they put the veneers over the teeth, but they are not yet set into place. There's no glue, there's literally nothing there, and that is just to see, is everything good? Is it how I envisioned it to be? Are there any issues? In my case, there was a couple of things they wanted to change they weren't 100% happy with, but honestly, that made me so happy. I didn't walk away from that appointment like, oh gosh, I didn't get them done today, how annoying. I was so happy because it showed to me that they truly care. I had paid already, because you pay at the first appointment, so they easily could have just slapped them on, sent me on my way, no problem. I think there was no issues on the bottom, it was just on the top. There was a couple of things they wanted to tweak, and I was like, by all means, yes, no problem, thank you so much. That's why mine actually ended up taking 3 appointments, because then they sent them away to make those couple of tweaks. Then I came back in for a 3rd appointment, and that's when I had my veneers fitted. This time they were perfect, they were amazing, everyone was really happy with them. And throughout the process, there's multiple people that come in and check as well. They have a range of different people on the team, from orthodontist to cosmetic orthodontist to dentist. So I'm going to show you a little clip of me in the chair, and then also you'll see my first ever reaction to the teeth. This is me seeing them in the mirror for the first ever time. So I'll give you a last little look. It's the last time with these teeth. Yeah.
All you need to do is to suction them up.
Wow. I can't believe these are my teeth.
Yeah, this suits you, by the way.
Yeah, they look really good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Finally, huh?
Yeah, they look so nice. I still can't believe they're my teeth.
Enjoy smiling.
I will. Okay, thank you. Did you hear him at the end there say, enjoy smiling? And I was like, thank you, I will. And honestly, it's true. There's not a day that goes past where I'm not so grateful that I made this decision. And that reaffirms to me that it was absolutely the right one. One of the most important things that I need to mention is what happens after your veneers are fitted. You go and see a bite/gum specialist, which is the guy you can see there in the video when I'm looking at my teeth in the mirror. And he was amazing, and the difference he made was incredible. So while I was in the chair and I closed my mouth for the first time and they gave me the mirror to have a little look, it felt weird and uncomfortable. And I just thought it's because there's a foreign object in your mouth, you know, of course I'm gonna have to get used to it, but it'll all be fine. Then I saw the bite specialist and he made some little changes here and there, and then I closed my mouth and I was in shock. It suddenly felt like there was nothing in my mouth at all. My bite and my positioning and everything was exactly as it had been before. Suddenly I was like, oh, this just feels like completely normal. Something that I love that VIP Clinic does and really cares about. It's really important for them that you see this bite specialist and that everything is perfect when you leave. So 1 month after your veneers, you need to go in for a checkup, and then after that it's every kind of 6 months to a year. The time does increase as the years go by. So I've already had my 1 month checkup and I've got my 6 month checkup next week. As well as that, the post care for veneers is that you have to eat soft foods only for, it was either 7 or 10 days, can't remember exactly. Just no hard foods basically. Do not be biting into apples, do not be eating crunchy panini, chocolate bars and things like that. I was eating pasta, soups, rice, noodles, you know, pretty much everything you can. Just, yeah, don't be stupid. Then you're just back to normal life really, and I've had no issues since. I've had some people ask if it was painful. It's not painful, but I'll be so honest, it is a bit uncomfortable. But I don't think there's ever an experience where you go to the dentist or the orthodontic and it's not. I just feel like there's nothing in the mouth that is ever comfortable really. You know, when they're filing and things are quite loud and they've got to like pull your gums in different directions, it's all just sometimes a little bit uncomfortable. But the time goes so quickly. I think my third appointment when I had them fitted was an hour and a half or something. The other main question I get, of course, is about the cost, so I'll share that with you now. So there's 2 package options that you can do. You can either pick the 7-day or the 14-day. So with the 14 days, it means that your 2 or 3 appointments will be within a 14-day period. If you choose the 7-day, it's almost like an express package, so then your appointments will be within 7 days of each other. So it just depends really. If you're coming to Dubai for a holiday, you're probably going to want to choose the 7-day because you're probably not going to be in Dubai for 2 weeks. Price wise, I will let you know in AED and GBP. So just bear in mind that of course the exchange rate is always moving and things are always changing a bit. Roughly the 14 days is 8,000 AED, which is about £1,750. And then for the 7 days, it's 10,000 AED or about £2,000. They're so helpful, you guys. I've honestly fallen in love with the team over there. The ladies on reception, the managers, the orthodontic team, the nurses, everyone is so friendly. I didn't have one day where I had a bad experience with anybody. And I think that shows in this glowing review that I'm giving them because I'm not paid to sit here and say any of this. Can you see? That's literally her paw there, can you see? They said to me, Hannah, we must have seen about 20 people at least that said they were referred by you or we were recommended by you. And also that makes me really happy because that's why I do what I do. That's why I've got my Instagram and my TikTok and my YouTube, is because I like sharing my life in Dubai and all my experiences, and especially when I've had a good one. And as I said, not paid to do this. I'm not an ambassador. I'm not anything. I'm just a regular old Jane who's had veneers. I'll leave you with a final clip of my teeth. Honestly, so happy with them. I know I've probably said that 100 times in this video. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions at all, as I mentioned, please do feel free to leave them down below. And if you do go to VIP Clinic, make sure that you mention that you watched my video. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can catch up with the rest of my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.